Well, tonight, Jesse Watters will air his exclusive interview with Erika Kirk, the newly appointed CEO of Turning Point USA, and, of course, the widow of Charlie Kirk.
So this will be Erika's first sit-down interview since her husband's assassination.
You wanted to see Charlie immediately and came up. Take us through that.
When we walked into that room, he had this smirk on his face. That smirk to me is that look of, you thought you could stop what I've built. You thought that you could end this vision, this movement, this revival. You thought you could do that by murdering me. You got my body, you didn't get my soul.
Wow. Host of Jesse Watters Primetime, Jesse Watters joins us now for a preview. So, Jesse, first off, from the clips we've seen, it looks like an awesome interview. Not an easy one. What was your approach to this, and what can we expect?
Well, she takes us through finding out how Charlie had been shot, the phone call she got on September 10th, how she reacted to that, why she wanted to see the body, if she thought maybe he could have survived at some point, because, you know, there was a point in time where we thought Charlie might make it. And she goes through what she expects at the trial, whether she believes in the death penalty, whether Charlie would have wanted his killer put to death. It was a very intense interview. I've never been a part of anything like this before. I almost started crying a few times when she talked about her children. You can feel the spirit of Charlie Kirk in Erika, and it's a real powerful situation.
You know, Jesse, you alluded to her talking about their children. Here's a little bit from your interview. Let's watch it.
You told your children that Charlie was going on a work trip with Jesus. Are they still asking, where's Daddy?
Yes, my daughter continues to ask, but it's really sweet because I keep explaining to her a few things. And I said, if ever you want to talk to Daddy, you just look up to the sky and start talking to him. He can hear you. He's always in Robert. And I told her, I said, you know, Daddy is in heaven. She goes, do you think I could go sometime? I said, baby, we will all go one day. We will all go one day.
Jesse, the innocence there. How do you tell a child?
Yeah, well, she talks about the conversation she's had with her children, how she's managing with all of this pressure on her as CEO, as this new leader of the movement, to balance raising these two children who still are asking questions with this leadership position that's been thrust upon her. And it's so strange. There were a couple times, because I spoke to her at Ole Miss, and then I spoke to her at Turning Point in a few different situations. And there were moments during these conversations when you could feel Charlie's presence.
Wow.
And whether that was through the music or the way she was talking or just kind of random coincidences, that she still has a very strong connection with her husband. And it was a really special type of moment.
You know, Jesse, it's very clear watching those clips. By the way, great interview. Everything we've seen is just phenomenal and so insightful. You get a sense of her strength, but also of this, you said this connection with Charlie, it's spiritual. Here's a clip where she's talking to you about how she just doesn't live in fear.
Do you feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets like, here I am, come find me. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done.
Jesse, I don't know how anybody goes through tragedy on this scale without faith in God. That's the message I get from this interview.
Yeah, she talked about fearlessness throughout the interview. You remember Charlie, he would just go into the hornet's nest, and he would do it with a smile on his face, and his career kind of went along. He was even more relaxed and more at peace. She used the word tranquility. And as vulnerable as she is now, when you take everything from someone, your true love, she is also resolute. And you hear her say, you know, what else can they do? And it's that kind of power that you feel from this woman. And she's dealing with trauma in real time. Remember, there are still people out there talking about other theories of this assassination, whether they really actually caught the killer. And she talks about that and how she processes that. And you can tell she is facing a life that she never expected to face. But she has found God in this connection with him, and it really keeps her motivated and keeps her calm.
You know, Jesse, this is just my perspective of knowing you. I feel like his assassination has changed you as a person. Like, there's a difference in you. How has this impacted you?
It has. You know, you're very perceptive.
I
didn't think I showed myself that clearly, but it has. It has made me seek a deeper connection with God. You know, I was. They call it a C&E Christian. You go to church on Christmas and Easter. I went to Sunday school as a kid, but I found myself reading more about Jesus Christ. And you know, my life has changed since this happened. The country has changed since this happened. And you can't not feel that. Everyone feels it. I know you guys feel it too. And it's something that you have to nourish like a flame and protect and keep because that spirit of Charlie Kirk is still alive in all of us and still alive in the country.
Yeah, and the thing is, just too, about the assassination. People bring up all these theories about the assassination. They know they're not getting the real story, even though Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are unimpeachable in their integrity, and they're leading the investigation. And it was brought up to me over the weekend. I was talking to a member of the Turning Point leadership, and they said it kind of hurts the family when they keep bringing up that they don't have the real killer, that these conspiracy theories and we're being lied to. People should really think about that before they hop behind a microphone.
Well, she talks about that, and that was a tough question for her to answer, but she answered it, and she answered it very honestly. And, you know, you and I, we all know we have a right to question crime in the United States of America, but it gets to a certain point where you go too far. And she talks about where that is and how she feels about that as a widow, as a mother. She talks about whether she's seen the video. Wow. And that was a real struggle for her, too. So, you know, she really shared a lot in this interview, and it took a lot of bravery. But she did it with class, and she did it with dignity.
Well, so did you. It's an excellent interview. I know the entire country is going to be tuning in at 8 p.m. tonight on Jesse Watters Primetime. Excellent job. Thanks Jesse.